About 12 centuries ago at Kaladi, a remote village on the banks of the river Purna in Kerala, lived a simple and pious couple, Sivaguru and Aryamba. Childless for a long time, they did severe penance at the Vadkuntha temple at Trichur. Pleased with their intense devotion, Lord Shiva blessed the couple with a son. The overjoyed couple named the child Shankara in grateful remembrance of the Lord's grace upon them. Shankara means bestower of auspiciousness, which the child literally became later on in his life. The child was born on a Sunday, the Shukla Panchami day, in the month of Vaishakha. He had divine signs on his body. The learned and the wise saw the brilliance of the moon on his head. On his forehead the sign of the divine eye. His shoulder had the impress of the trident, Trishul. His body was resplendent like the crystal. Verily, he looked like Shambhu, Lord Shiva, himself walking the world in human form, say the ancient records. Shankara was a very brilliant child with uncommon wisdom and intelligence. At the age of 3, he was able to read and surprisingly even understand Malayali and Sanskrit books. As fortune would have it, his father Sivaguru passed away at this stage. Sivaguru had longed to send his son to a Gurukul for studies. To fulfill her husband's wish, Aryamba arranged for the Upanayanam, sacred thread ceremony, of Shankara when he was 5 and sent him to a Gurukul for education. Shankara displayed his extraordinary talent. As he finished his formal education at the Gurukul with surprising speed and ease. At the Gurukul, it was a routine for the brahmacharins to receive bhiksha, alms. On one such day, Shankara went to the house of a pious Brahman lady who lived in extreme poverty. She looked at the young boy, her eyes filled with despair, as she had nothing to offer to him. Nevertheless, she gave him an amlaka as her humble bhiksha. Shankara's heart melted at the poverty and humility of the lady. At that instant, he invoked goddess Lakshmi, who showered the lady with riches. Having successfully completed his formal education at the Gurukul, Shankara returned home at the age of 7. At home, he served his loving mother and helped her with her daily household chores. At the Gurukula, the seeds of spirituality had been sown in young Shankara's mind. So he continued advanced studies of the Vedas and Shastras on his own at home with great zeal and enthusiasm. His mother Aryamba used to go to the holy river Purna, which was at quite a distance from their house, to have her morning bath. One day, while returning home, she fainted due to exhaustion and fatigue. Shankara rushed to the spot and brought her home. That day he prayed intensely and pleaded with the Almighty Lord to change the course of the Purna river and make it flow near his house so that his mother would not have to undertake long walks every day for her bath. A miracle happened. The next morning, the river Purna had diverted its course and was flowing gently by Shankara's house. The genius and talent of Shankara spread rapidly. He was admired by all and had become the center of attraction. He had become dear to all people. They flocked to visit him to get enlightened on spiritual matters, some to seek his blessings, some just to have a glimpse of the wonder boy. Among the many admirers of Shankara was the ruler of Kerala, King Rajshekhara, who himself was a talented and literary person. The king offered Shankara to become the royal priest, but Shankara humbly turned down the request. He did not want to be bound. The king personally visited Shankara and showered him with expensive gifts and valuables. On Shankara's instructions, these were distributed among worthy persons. The king had written some books, which he showed to Shankara. After reading them, Shankara appreciated the works and made the necessary changes to the delight of the king. After returning from the Gurukul, Shankara had resumed his homely duties. But he had a deep instinctive urge to embrace Sannyasa. The fact that some astrologers had predicted that he had a very short lifespan of 16 years made him all the more restless to lead the path of renunciation. He talked to his mother Aryamba of the desire he had in his heart. The very thought of a loving, tender-aged son, treading a path of intense dedication and sacrifice, sent shivers in the mind of the compassionate mother Aryamba. There was no way that she would permit it. Shankara respected and honored the wishes of his mother, but at the same time he hoped that his desire would be granted someday. One day Shankara accompanied his mother for her daily bath. When they were bathing, suddenly a crocodile appeared and caught hold of his leg. He panicked and cried out to his mother for help. Aryamba watched helplessly in vain as she could not confront the dangerous crocodile and save her beloved son. At that moment, Shankara pleaded with her to grant him permission to take sannyasa in the final moments of his life and save his soul. The shaken mother, out of despair and grief, painfully consented to Shankara's plea. Shankara uttered the mantras of monastic vows and left his life in the hands of the Almighty Lord. Miraculously, the crocodile instantly let go the foot of Shankara. He came out of the river and joyfully embraced his weeping mother. Having got his mother's permission to embrace sannyasa, Shankara requested her to allow him to go out and seek a guru to initiate him according to the Guru Shishya Parampara. Aryamba could not imagine the separation of her one and only beloved son, yet the truthful mother fulfilled her word. She, however, took a promise from Shankara that at the time of her death, he would come back to meet her and perform the last rites. Shankara acceded to her request.